Hello, Rise of the Witch King players. I am BlueKnight, and you are watching a Gamecast made for the Rise of the Witch King section on GameReplays.org. Basically, I picked out a replay, a pretty old one from the replay section, and I'll be commenting on it and everything that I see. It's just loading right now. Basically, I'll be talking about what I think is going right, what is going wrong, and hopefully you'll get to see all the interesting points going on in the game. Now, this is the first time I'm actually watching this replay, so I don't know, I really have no idea what is going to happen. This replay has been won 4 times, so hopefully it should be a good game. It looks like we have Nocturne as Elves on the map Dunland against Men of the West player known as Jooners. Now, I've heard of both of them before. They were very good players back when I used to play Rise of the Witch King more actively. I assume they still are, hopefully. We're looking here at classic start, 2 Malloran trees, and here we're looking at 2 farms. This is the usual start you're going to see in most games, especially on larger maps, because it provides a better economy, and that's always a good thing to start you off. Now, we see here a green pasture start against the usual Men of the West start, a barrack start. Now, this already gives the Elven player a pretty big advantage, because green pasture means that he's going to produce Rivendell Lancers, which are cavalry, and the barracks usually means Gondor soldiers, and Gondor soldiers are not going to have a chance against Lancers. So hopefully, if the Men of the West player wants to gain the upper hand, he's going to have to figure something out to avoid the Lancers. Now, I see here he's already building Rohan Spearmen. I didn't expect this, but that's actually a very smart move, because his opponent just so happens to be going for cavalry, and Spearmen are very good counters for it. So I'm guessing he anticipated the green pasture start. That's very good. And so far things are slow because it's the beginning of the game. Now, we see this builder here is probably going to build a Malloran tree soon. I'll just go through this map really quickly. You see you have a signal fire right here in the center. No one has it yet. Signal fire will make their PowerPoint powers recharge faster, so whoever has this can actually get a pretty big advantage. In the top left corner and the bottom right corner, you have goblin lairs guarding inns. Now, the inns mean that the Men of the West player can produce Dunedain Rangers, which are very useful, and the Elven player can produce hobbits, also very useful. So maybe they'll make use of the inns. I don't know. We'll see. There's also a couple of warg lairs around the map, as you can see. So we have Gondor soldiers coming out. The Rohan Spearmen are already over here at the ends. Clearly the Men of the West player wants to make use of Dunedain Rangers. Probably a good idea, but he's going to have to be careful with them and make sure that they don't get run over by cavalry. And we see cavalry right here. Looks like they did find those Gondor soldiers. Now, they're in a shield wall formation, which makes them last longer, but they're still not going to have a chance. The second time they go trampling them, they're dead. Now, he's left his builder here, not a good idea. Now he's already lost it. Very, very bad to lose a builder this early on. You should have built a wall hub, if possible, immediately. Over here, we see that Men of the West player has the inn. He's building Dunedain Rangers. Lancers are running around. Looks like another farm went down. And here we see a stables being built. Probably a good idea, because if he goes for Rohirrim or Gondor Knights, they're going to be able to counter these Lancers. Though if he does go for Gondor Knights, they are going to be slower than the Lancers, so he might have trouble catching them. I would recommend Rohirrim if possible, but it's early on in the game, so who knows. Now, this is a very fast stable, so I don't know how effective it will be. Cavalry are expensive after all, and he didn't exactly start with cavalry, so his tactic may work, he might not. Now, we see a barracks going up, which is good, because he's not going to do very much of just Lancers, because if the Men of the West player just keeps making Spearmen, the Lancers can't counter them. So, you see here, the Lancers just standing there. Hopefully he'll get them moving soon, because it's not a good idea to just leave them standing there. And over here we see the Lancers running around, and yes, they did catch those Rangers. He wants to be careful with them. They'll get killed very easily if they're not protected by Spearmen. So things are pretty quiet at this base. It looks like the Elven player is putting pressure on the Men of the West player, and for now he's quite safe. So the Men of the West player is basically losing right now, but that can very easily change. He's still very early in the game. He's lost quite a few farms. Now, these Lancers are really close to that fortress. Not good. The fortress will kill them pretty fast. even though it only shoots one arrow at a time. Anyway, here we have the Rohan Spearmen trying to counter the Rivendell Lancers. Run, Lancers, run, 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 run! Ah, and of course, once again, the Rangers come out, and now they're about to get trampled. Oh, they tried to run to safety, but it didn't work. And he tried Rallying Call. Probably didn't help very much, because these Lancers can just run away. And they're level 2, so they're healing by themselves, which is useful for them. 100 soldiers left unprotected against Lancers mean that they die. So here we have Rohirrim being built, which is, they'll be very good counters for those Lancers. They're a lot stronger. Looks like he stopped producing units here. Now let me look at the resources and power points of these players. Looking at the Men of the West player, Jooners, of course, start off with Rallying Call, the classic start. It's really the only power you should start off with his men. And he's got one extra power point, so he can't really buy anything else yet. But it is at the beginning of the game. Now the Elven player, on the other hand, has 5 power points, which means he's pretty close to getting another power. He could actually get one right now if he wants another cheap one, but he might be going for a more expensive one instead. Rallying Call start again, which is the usual. So let's see. We have Lorien Warriors heading this way, and more Lorien Warriors heading this way. The Elven player is really putting the pressure on the Men of the West player. I still don't see really any pressure being put by the Men of the West player, but he did have quite a few casualties. Now he did manage to hold on to the end though, which is something, but didn't really get much use of his Rangers. Rohirrim turned out to be very useful here, countering these Lorien Warriors. The Elven player is going to have to produce some Mithlond sentries in order to be able to counter them. Now, Glorfindel is a good counter for the Rohirrim because he's really fast and he has splash damage, do nice damage. He'll kill them pretty fast if he deals with them. You can be certain that the Rohirrim won't really be able to counter him. He is a hero after all. Now we see the Lancers trying to get away from them, from these Rohirrim. And the Mithlond sentries running around. Now observing all players again so we don't see a dark screen constantly. Goblin layers going down. Poor goblins. No one seems to care about them. They're just there to die. They're always the weakest unit. Anyway, no one bothered getting this signal fire yet. Hopefully someone will soon, because it's always a good idea, as I've said before. And we see here Mirror of Galadriel being built, which is useful for healing these units, these Lancers, which are rather expensive to produce, so you do want to heal them. Now level 2, they'll basically do so automatically, but the level 1 Lancers right here are basically useless until this thing gets built, so it's a good idea to build a Mirror of Galadriel for these elves. It looks like the Rohirrim are going for the offensive. Men of the West player is trying to manage to put some pressure on the Elven player. And he's going to take out this Malorn tree, but the Rohirrim are under attack right now. He's going to have to be careful with them. They are very expensive. 650 resources, a lot more than the Lancers, which are only 450. And what's this guy doing by himself? Hey, get back to work. Have a war going on. Jeez, just sitting around there yawning and stretching. Anyway, there's Glorfindel coming in. Oh, he really does look like a hero, doesn't he? Charging around like that. Not many battles going on. The Rohirrim seem to be retreating. And once again, signal fire remains empty. No one's turned it on because no one captured it, and that's not very good. Oh, who's this? Eomer. That's a good idea, probably. Eomer will provide leadership to these cavalry units, but at the same time he did cost 1,000 resources, which is quite a bit. Now he won't stand a chance against Glorfindel if Glorfindel manages to attack him long enough, but he's running away, so we'll see how that works out. Looks like he's trying to ambush these Lancers, come at them right from behind. Let's see, defensive stance and battle stance. Maybe he could have gone with aggressive stance right here because he's flanking these cavalry units who have killed him a bit faster. Anyway, we see Glorfindel, and what's going on here? Yep, they're retreating. Oh, this farm's done for. And he really should retreat those guys a bit, just for the sake of saving a few units, but I guess there's only a couple of sentries anyway, so it's not that much of a problem. My point was that he could have attacked them from a farther distance since they are ranged units, but I guess it doesn't matter too much here. What's this?